Are you aging in anxiety or growing in stillness? The truth is, most of us are wasting our most precious years clinging to things that were meant to vanish. We fear the wrinkles on our faces, but forget the scars on our souls. We hoard wealth, yet leave our inner selves in poverty. Have you ever stopped to ask, why is it that the harder you try to control life, the more restless you feel? Today, we're not here for empty theories. I'm going to help you decode twinsy, brutal yet liberating truths from the Buddha, seen through the lens of Stoic discipline. These are things that, if you don't face them before your hair turns gray, will regret when it's far too late. I've divided these 20 things into 5 doorways of consciousness. More importantly, at the end of each section, I'll give you specific exercise to turn this knowledge into instant. Don't just listen, feel which words hit your wounds the hardest, because that is where the light enters. The first door we must walk through is called impermanence. Why so we always feel uneasy? Because we're trying to build sandcastles and hoping the tide never comes in. Stoics call this the law of nature. The Buddha calls it anicca, impermanence. You cannot be happy if you are fighting the very essence of the universe. The Buddha taught, everything that has a beginning has an ending. Make your peace with that and all will be well. Look at the cup of coffee in your hand, the relationship you're in, or even this very breath. We usually only love the beginning, the spark of new love, the thrill of a new job. But we reject the end. Stoics practice memento mori, remembering we must die, to be gloomy, but to realize that because everything ends, this moment becomes priceless. When you make peace with the end, you won't be shocked when loss arrives. You'll understand that an end isn't a failure, it's just part of the process. And here is a harsher reality. Change is never painful, only the resistance to change is painful. Are you suffering because you lost your job? No. Losing a job is a neutral event. The real pain comes from your resistance to it, wishing it didn't happen, torturing yourself with why me. Imagine swimming against a current. You'll just exhaust yourself. If you let yourself flow with it, a more fatal love of fate, the pain vanishes. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what we can control and what we can't. The world's changes are out of your hands, but your attitude in accepting them is entirely yours. Here's a truth that young people often ignore until it's too late. The trouble is, you think you have time. This is the lie that keeps us stuck. We delay being kind to our parents, delay taking care of ourselves, and delay living the life we want because we believe tomorrow is guaranteed. But in Stoic philosophy, tomorrow is an uncertain gift. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short space of time, but that we waste much of it." Don't wait until old age knocks on your door to realize you've lived your whole life on standby mode. To make sure these aren't just theories, here are 2 exercises for you today. Exercise 1. Negative visualization. Every morning, spend 2 minutes thinking about something or someone you dearly love. Tell yourself, this doesn't belong to me. It is on loan from the universe and can be called back anytime. By befriending the end in your mind, you'll love them more deeply in the present without being paralyzed by fear. Exercise 2. The let it flow rule. This week, whenever an unwanted change happens, traffic jams, a missed flight, a criticism, instead of frowning and asking why, take a deep breath and say, change is happening, and I'm okay with it. Watch how fast the suffering fades when you stop resisting. But if you've accepted impermanence, why do you still feel hurt? It's because another monster is hiding deep in your mind, attachment. In the next part, we'll learn how to let go without breaking our own hearts. Are you ready to face the real reason you're suffering? Many people mistake letting go for giving up on everything or living a cold, emotionless life. It's not. Both the Stoics and the Buddhists, the letting go isn't it out owning nothing. It's about letting nothing own you. You can love, you can build wealth, but never let your happiness be imprisoned by those things. The first truth of freedom, the root of suffering is attachment. Imagine you're gripping a rope that's being pulled by a cannon. The tighter you hold on, the more your hands bleed. The rope isn't hurting you, your clinging is. We get attached to our reputation, to what people think of us, or to an ideal partner. Epictetus once said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." When you attach your soul to things outside your reach, you've handed the keys to your happiness to a stranger. Listen closely to this next one. It might change how you view loss. You only lose what you cling to. Why? Because things of nature come and go by law. If you don't label it as mine, if you don't slap an ownership tag on it, then when it leaves, it's just a transfer, not a loss. You don't lose the sun when it sets, because you know the sun in yours. Apply this to your lovers, your money, and even your youth, and your heart will feel light. You only truly own what no one can take away, your character and your wisdom. Root of truth number 3, pain is certain. Suffering is optional. A sick body is pain. But sitting there crying why's miserable, is suffering. Stoics split an event into 2 layers. Layer 1 is the objective fact. Layer 2 is your judgment of that fact. The Buddha called this the second arrow. The first arrow is the actual wound. The second arrow is your mind staving yourself through rumination. You can dodge the first arrow of life, but you have every right to refuse the second one. And here is the yardstick of a life well lived. In the end, these things matter most. How well did you love? How fully did you live? How deeply did you learn to let go? The ultimate human skill isn't making money. Our leadership, it's the skill of letting go. Letting go of an oversized ego. Letting go of old grudges. Letting go of the thirst to control the future. As you age and stand at the doorstep of death, you will realize that everything you hearted must stay behind. Only the ability to release peacefully will let you smile. Don't just nod along, practice being more than a slave to your emotions with these 2 exercises. Exercise 1, the stewardship mindset. Whenever you buy something new or start a relationship, tell yourself, I am the manager, not the owner. Take the best care of it, but always be ready to return it to the universe. This allows you to love without being needy and to possess without being possessed. Exercise 2, observe the second arrow. Next time something annoying happens, like getting scolded by your boss, step back and observe. Say, the first arrow hit, I was scolded. But I will not fire the second arrow by telling myself, I'm a failure or hating my boss. Keep the pain strictly at the level of the physical event. You've learned to let go of the outside world. But there is a fiercer battlefield, the world within. Why is our mind often a cage filled with ghosts of the past and shadows of the future? The next group will show you how to find stillness in the eye of the storm. Are you really here, or is your mind somewhere that died a long time ago? Tears a paradox. We spend our whole lives looking for a peaceful place, but we bring a stormy mind with us when we get there. Stoics believe a philosopher's sanctuary isn't where they live, but how they think. The Buddha affirmed, everything begins with the mind. If the mind isn't settled, you could be sitting on a throne and still be a restless beggar. Let's start with the command of mindfulness. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Have you noticed it that most of our suffering is fake? Regret is pain over a dead past. Anxiety is pain over an unborn future. Only the present is real. Stoics practice prosacha focused attention. When you're washing dishes, just wash the dishes. When you're talking to someone, be wine a test there. If you aren't living in the now, you aren't really living. You're just existing in a nightmare of your own making. Don't look for salvation from others, because peace comes from within. Don't seek it without. We often think, if I have enough money, I'll be at peace, or if she comes back, I'll be happy. It's a trap. Marcus Aurelius said that a person can find a retreat more peaceful than any island or mountain right inside their own soul. If you can find peace in your own breath right now, no villa or vacation will ever give it to you. Peace isn't a destination, it's a way of seeing. To maintain that peace, you need discipline. A disciplined mind brings happiness. The mind is like a wild elephant. If untrained, it will trample your life. Discipline here doesn't mean being rigid, it means the ability to observe your own thoughts. Stoics teach us to guard the gaze of the mind. When a negative thought appears, ask, is this useful? Is this true? Happiness doesn't come from total indulgence, but from the freedom of controlling your own reaction to adversity. Finally, be your own filter. Believe nothing, no matter where you read it or who said it, unless it agrees with your own reason and your own common sense. The world is flooded with opinions and social standards about how successful or how attractive you should be. Both the Buddha and the Stoics value personal wisdom. Don't live someone else's script. Use your reason to sit through the noise. An awakened life is one where you are the driver, not a sleeping passenger on the bus of public opinion. To master your mind, start training your white elephant with these 2 exercises. Exercise 1. The 3-second gap. Whenever you feel a surge of anger, anxiety, or the urge to judge, stop for exactly 3 seconds before you react. In those 3 seconds, breathe deep and ask, do I really need to let this stir my inner peace? This gap is where your freedom is born. Exercise 2. Mindfulness check-in. Set a phone alarm 3 times a day. When it goes off, stop and ask, where is my mind right now? If it's in the past, regret, or the future, anxiety, pull it back to the sensations of your body. Focus on your feet touching the ground or the air moving through your nose. This is how you practice coming home. Once the mind is settled, we see another truth. The mind cannot exist without a healthy temple. Are you mistreating your body in the name of being busy? The next section will reveal why health isn't just a goal, it's a spiritual duty. Don't wait until you're in a hospital bed to understand the value of NO. Dead. Many people take their health for granted until they lose it and ignore the happiness they have until it becomes just a memory. The Stoics view the body as something on loan from nature that we have a duty to protect. The Buddha saw it as the only vehicle to reach enlightenment. If you're trading your well-being for money, you're making the worst deal on earth. Carve this definition of wealth into your mind. Health is the greatest gift. Contentment, the greatest wealth. Faithfulness, the best relationship. We spend our youth chasing numbers in a bank account, but one major illness can wipe it all out overnight. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Contentment is the armor that makes you immune to social comparison. When you feel you have enough, you are richer than any billionaire living in the constant fear of loss. Your body isn't just a tool, it's a temple. Your body is precious. It is your vehicle for awakening. Treat it with care. Imagine you were given only one car for your entire life. How would you care for it? You wouldn't tempo in bad fool, you wouldn't over speed, and you wouldn't let it rust. Yet, we pour toxic food into our bodies, deprive ourselves of sleep, and live in chronic stress. Stoicism teaches us temperance. Taking care of your body isn't about vanity. It's about answering that when your mind wants to soar high, your body zins ragged down. Don't blame fate, because every human being is the author of his own health or disease. Of course, there are genetic factors, but your daily habits are the pen that writes the script of your life. Every cigarette, every hour of exercise, every positive or negative thought is a line in that book. Stoics believe in self-mastery. You can choose your gens, but you choose your lifestyle. You are the author. Don't let others write your final chapter from a hospital bed filled with regret. And here is why many wealthy people are still miserable. Happiness will never come to those who fail to appreciate what they already have. The human mind tends to adapt quickly to good things and starts taking them for granted. The hedonic treadmill. You dream of a house, but once you have it, you dream of a bigger one. Stoics practice reverse gratitude. Imagine waking up this morning and losing everything. Too far to say thank you for rice today. Appreciation turns what we have into an O and turns resistance into acceptance. Truly honor your temple and your life. Practice these two exercise on mindful consumption. For at least one meal a day, put your phone away. Look at your food and recognize the effort of the earth and the farmers who brought it to you. Eat slowly, savor the taste, and silently thank your body for turning it into energy. This is how you rewrite your health chapter. Exercise 2. The What If list. Every night before bed, list 3 things you have, even tiny things like clear vision, a roof over your head, or a friend. Imagine what your life would be like without them. The relief of realizing they are still there is the most powerful medicine for happiness. You are healthy. You are content. But if you only lie for yourself, your life will still feel empty. The final truth, and the hardest one to face, lies in action and responsibility. Why are you the only one who can save yourself? And how can your lamp light the way for others without burning out? Let's move to the final group. The Buddha and the Stoics share one powerful conviction. They don't believe in outside salvation. No God, no stroke of luck can do the work of self-training for you. You are the architect, the builder, and the supervisor of the house of your life. Don't wait for a miracle, become the miracle. The first truth out inner power. No matter how hard the past, you can always begin again today. We often use the past as an excuse for our current cowardice. Because I grew up poor, because I was hurt. But to a Stoic, the past belongs to things outside our control. It is dawn. The only thing you have is your choice right now. The Buddha taught about karma, but karma isn't a fixed fate. Karma is action. Every new action you take today is a new seed. You can write the first chapter of your book, but you can certainly write a dim starting from this page. Don't let procrastination steal your life. To be idle is a short road to death, and to be diligent is a way of life. The death the Buddha speaks of here isn't just the biological end. It's the death of the soul when living without purpose. Stoics view time as the only asset we can never get back. Living diligently isn't about working like crazy for money. It's about being diligent in practicing virtue and mindfulness. Every minute you live half-heartedly is a minute you are dying before your grave is even dug. The yardstick of integrity, the only real failure in life, is not to be true to the best one knows. You know smoking is harmful, yet you do it. You know lying is wrong, but you do it for gain. That is failure. In Stoicism, living according to nature means living according to our best human reason. Don't compare yourself to someone else's success. Compare your actions today with the moral standards you've set for yourself. If you betray your own conscience, that is the ultimate bankruptcy. Kindness is never one way. If you light a lamp for somebody, it will also brighten your path. Many ask, why should I do good when the world is so unfair? The answer isn't in someone else's gratitude, but in your own transformation. When you act with compassion, karuna, your ego shrinks and your personal anxieties fade away with it. Helping others is the best way to save yourself from loneliness and selfishness. It is the lamp that shows you the meaning of existence. The final summary: purity or impurity depends on oneself. No one can purify another. You cannot blame your environment, society, or your parents for your own decay. Marcus Aurelius once said, "A man can live well even in a palace or anywhere." Stillness is the result of personal effort. You cannot wait for someone to bless or liberate you. You must walk the path yourself. Clean up the clutter in your own mind and build a noble soul. To conclude this journey, commit to these two final exercises. Exercise 1, the midnight audit. Every night before you sleep, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do today that went against my conscience? 2, correct it. What good did I do today? To maintain it. How much time did I waste on meaningless things? To stay alert. This is how you purify yourself daily. Exercise 2, lighting the lamp for others. In the next 24 hours, do one good deed without anyone knowing and without expecting anything in return. It could be a sincere compliment, a small donation, or just listening to someone. Observe how your feelings change. You see that you are no longer a victim of life, but a source of positive energy. My friend, these 20 truths aren't meant to be heard on and forgotten. They are mirrors for you to look into every day before the crow's feet appear at the corners of your eyes. Don't wait until old age hits to regret that you didn't live, didn't love, and didn't let go. Remember, this life is yours, and this moment is the only thing you truly have. Stand up, light your own lamp, and start walking. Thank you for joining me on this journey of awakening. If you found these values helpful, please share them with someone you love. I'll see you in our next journeys. And if this video meant something to you, please share, comment, and hit the subscribe button so we can meet again. Goodbye, and I wish you a beautiful life.